And we're live, I think. Never always, don't always know if it's working or not. I think it's working. Let me see if I can find myself and the chat. Oh, look at that. It says DrZzs is now live. Guess it's working. Let me find the chat here. There we go. Live right now. Pop that chat out so I can see it. Hey, how's it going, guys? Gaston and Alian, how's it going? Brian, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I just woke up from a nice little nap. How's it going, Jeff? All right. Oh, feels good to take a nap on Sundays. That's like the best Sunday activity. Take a nice little nap. How's everybody doing? Steve, Dale, Mauricio, Galarza. Okay, Mauricio, you have to tell me where Galarza is. I have no idea what that is. Harris, Chris, how's it going, guys? What's up? Brian from Dallas, how's it going? I am. Andre, Sandro, Chile, Brazil, Italy, how's it going?
Every Sunday.
Yes. Hi. You want to say hi real fast? You can say hi.
Say hi real fast.
Okay. Nap? Yes, naps are wonderful. Oh, that's true. It is Monday morning for a lot of people. Hey, Eric. Oh, watch on your way to work. Sweet. Have to sleep. We'll watch on the way to work. All right, Phil. We'll try and make it interesting for you. So you got something to look forward to on your way to work. Yes, it's Happy Monday in Australia. Hoping to get a lot of folks from other places. Argentina, okay. Galarza is in Argentina. I did not know that. I'm doing great. Talon. Thank you. Good morning. Yeah, in Australia, that's good. That's one of the reasons for doing the switching up with the times is to try and give folks on the other side of the globe a chance to join in when it's not, 2 in the morning or something. So, all right, let's start getting some questions. Here we go. Let me switch it over to this kind of a stream, and then let's see. All right, what do we got? Bobby says, what mod of NodeMCU are you using for NodeMCU? After flashing the RFID on the NodeMCU v3, it crashed. Oh, crud. Let me pull out my NodeMCU and we'll figure it out. Where we go? Here it is. Okay. This is the one. Oh, turn on the desk cam there. And move it up. Not very focused, is it? But this is the one. So let me see if I can see any kind of markings on there. Let's see what it says. My eyes are no good anymore. We got... let's see. I'm not seeing a version here, Bobby. Let's see. No, I'm not seeing a version, but I can look where I bought it. I can see what I bought when I bought it. We'll do that quick. I wonder why that would be. I'm trying to think of reasons why it would crash. Because it might not be that there's anything wrong with it. It might just be that there's something about the how much memory it uses or how many processes it's trying to do at the same time, or something like that. Pretty sure I bought my NodeMCUs from Amazon. Let me see. Orders. NodeMCU. Okay. Turn that one off. So this is the ones I got. I don't know if I see anything on there that says what version it is. When I've flashed them, I think I've set them as version 1. In the Arduino IDE, I've only seen a couple of versions listed, like 0.9 and 1. And I think I've just used 1 and it's worked. So I don't know, I'll let you look at that for a second, see if you can figure out what that is. Oh, that might be it. Yeah, these do have a lot more memory on them. They've got 4 megabytes, like Lucifer saying. NodeMCU V3. Does it have a VV on it? I don't see a VV. I don't see VV. It says ESP12N, ESPF, 2AL3B. I don't know, man. It's the best I got. Sorry. Hope that helps you. What is it? Oh, there you go. So Rob can help you maybe troubleshoot that. Look at your serial monitor and stuff. And then somebody else was asking a question. Let's see. Quick question. Can I connect a dumb dimmer switch to still be controllable with a slider on the switch? So you can turn it on and off, Alien. You can turn it on and off. If you connected it to, you'd have to have like your Sonoff or something first, and connect it to the relay to that dimmer switch, and then that dimmer switch you can turn. Once it's on, yes, you can turn the dial and it will dim. There's not a lot of good choices for smart dimmer switches, and the big trouble is it's different for dimming LEDs versus dimming incandescent bulbs. So if your dumb dimmer switch is able to dim incandescent bulbs, then that'll be fine. Just make sure if you're using LED bulbs that you've got the right kind of bulbs first that are dimmable, and then you have to have I don't know if a regular like incandescent dimmer switch would work with LED bulbs. Probably not. I think you need LED dimmer switch, but I don't know. Bedtime for 6-year-olds in Florida. Well, thanks for popping in, Rob. Hopefully you come back once you get them to sleep, sing them a lullaby and get back. 1 a.m. in Germany. Yeah, sorry guys. 2 a.m., but you're here anyways. All right. Smart locks. The only thing that's missing in your Home Assistant setup. Well, if you want to do, I'm assuming you want something a bit more standard than my sort of hacked together magnet locks. If it's an interior door, or if it's something that you're not, you wanted to not spend a ton of money on, then you can do that magnetic lock thing I did. Those magnetic locks are pretty cool. I like them. They work well. But let's see. I'm going to go to Home Assistant real quick, and we're just going to go through the list of components and locks. Here, I'll put this over here so everybody can join in on what I'm looking at. If you look at locks, so I would pick something off of this list, but I don't know that I have I don't have any, so I'm not sure I can tell you what's the best. Z-Wave, you'll spend a lot more money, but they're supposed to be pretty good quality. I don't know what Verilok is. I've heard a lot of people using Kiwi Lock and Nuki, but here's others. Lockatron, August. I don't know what Adobe Lock is or different. Of course, that's just for your BMW and your Tesla. Nello, maybe. So anyways, I would just pick one of those, or I don't know. Anybody else have any ideas? Who else has smart locks that has a recommendation? Because I don't. See you, Rob. Thanks for joining for a minute. Did I try and flash an S26? I have not, Conrad. I need to get one. I need to make a list. Let me write that down because the Sonoff folks said they'll send me stuff and I can have kind of whatever I want, I guess. I haven't asked them for anything yet, but I need to. Where's my notepad? But I need to take them up on that offer. So something like the S26 might be something I can ask them for. S26. I'll remember that. There you go. Raymond says he uses August locks. Sweet. Home Assistant versus OpenHAB. Thoughts? Did you try out both before deciding on Home Assistant? Ash asks. No, I haven't tried OpenHAB. I want to, and I've got an extra Raspberry Pi, and just like everything, trying to find the time to do that. I did. Do you guys ever watched Yo-Yo Tech? Do you know who he is? He's another guy on YouTube, similar to me, bald, does a lot of home automation stuff. I sent him a message and said, "Hey, Yo-Yo, you want to do a comparison?" Because he does OpenHAB and I do Home Assistant, and I thought, well, it'd be great if if I did OpenHAB for a while and he did Home Assistant for a while, and then we could both compare and do different videos about it. I thought that'd be pretty good, but I'd never heard back from him. So he must get even more mail than I get, or maybe he just doesn't answer. I don't know. Which brings me to something I wanted to say since we're here. I am sorry that I have been so slow in getting back to so many people. I try and keep up on the comments and the videos, but I've fallen several days behind. I got a little caught up today, and I am super behind on emails, and that's where I feel worse because some of those emails are really detailed and people have put a lot of time and explain things, and I want to be able to take the time to write back, and it's just been hard to get enough time. So if you've emailed me and I haven't gotten back to you, please forgive me. Just know that I've read it and I appreciate it, and I'm going to try. And there's been several emails that have been really good and really helpful to me, where people have explained things that I didn't understand. So I do appreciate it, and just please forgive me if I don't get back to you right away. All right, what do we got going here? Dana Lock looks good, not directly compatible with Home Assistant. If you have a SmartThings hub, it'll work with Home Assistant too. So that, Bobby, do you have both? You must be running both. Let's see, recommendations for a dimmable switch. Man, a dimmable smart switch. So I had somebody send me one. I don't remember where I put it. This one. The thing with the switches is always, to me, it's always going to be, if you're going to buy a switch, well, I guess it doesn't do any good to show you this one, but I will anyways. If you're going to buy a switch, this is this OIDM. They've been making a lot of stuff lately, and they email me a lot and say, "Hey, do you want to check stuff out?" So I got this, and seems good, seems fine. It's clickable. I think it's only with incandescent bulbs. It's not going to work if you have LED bulbs. Most of the stuff in our house is LED bulbs. But if I'm looking for a dimmer switch, I'm going to go with something that is on the list. If I'm going to pay money for a switch and not build it myself, then I'm definitely going to find something that's on the components list for Home Assistant, so that I don't have to worry about whether or not it's going to work well with Home Assistant. If you're going to spend $30 on a switch, which is pretty much, you're going to buy a switch, they're all going to be about $30 for those kinds. Then man, get one that you know you're going to be able to work with. So let's try. I guess would it be under lights or under switch? I don't know. Oh no, switch is that's. I think it's going to be under light probably. I don't have any direct recommendations for a dimmer switch. Leviton is pretty good stuff. These are bulbs. I know bulbs. If you have bulbs, you can dim them. So that's one possible solution. If you're in a situation where you have you want to dim and it's only one bulb, then maybe a smart bulb instead of a smart switch, and you leave the light switch for that lamp or that the ceiling light on all the time, and then you can just dim the bulbs themselves. And the bulbs are cheaper. You can get decent bulbs for $12, $15, somewhere in there. So that's a good option. Oh, I wish I could catch up with all the chat. Then somebody else was asking about, back to OpenHAB. Yeah, so no, I still want to try OpenHAB. I think it's going to be pretty hard to tear me away from Home Assistant at this point, but I'll give OpenHAB a good try. Check it out and see how hard it is to do the same things. That's why I thought doing something with a guy like Yo-Yo would be good. We could kind of standardize what things we're checking out and how we're comparing them. And it would be the best, most fair situation to have him use something he knows a lot about and then compare it, and the same for me. So, Home Assistant configs better. Yeah, I like Home Assistant a lot. Smart thing, data lock. All right, let's see. That's a good. Renee asks about Mosquitto Broker 2.0 is available. Let me see, because that might be one of the things that I doubt it's breaking. I doubt there'd be any breaking changes to it, but it's always possible. It's good to check before. That's part of why I started running 2 Home Assistant Raspberry Pis, because I was afraid to update much and have things break. So let me see what I'm running right now, and I'll be able to tell you because I may have updated already. And if I've updated and it hasn't broken, then we have our answer. I see somebody mentioning the, nope, it doesn't look like I've updated that. Let's try on the dev. Have I updated it on the dev? I usually put that one to update everything automatically. Yes, I have. Okay, great. So yeah, it looks like I'm running it on my second Home Assistant Pi. It looks like it did the auto update to the newer version of Mosquitto, and I don't see any problems. Let me click a few switches here and just make sure that things are working. Yeah, things are working. Things seem to be working. I'm turning lights on and off on the Maker Faire garage. It's all out on the wall out in the garage. So yeah, so I think you're probably safe to go ahead and do the update for Mosquitto. Can you run Home Assistant and OpenHAB at the same time? Sure. You'll I don't know if OpenHAB uses MQTT as much. I assume it does. So you don't need multiple brokers, but if you want them to respond, you'd have to see what you want to use OpenHAB for versus Home Assistant, and maybe be selective about which devices you connect to one or the other. But there shouldn't be any major problems. There shouldn't be any major conflicts. That they probably work on different ports. You'll have to have them on a different Pi or a different computer. So that should be fine. Never remove functionality while adding functionality. This is #1 smart home rule. Travis is a smart guy, so if that's his rule, that's my rule too. So Travis did say something about the fan. You guys have heard about the fan module. If you haven't, Sonoff has made they say make your dumb fan smart. So you take this fan module, you put it in your existing ceiling fan, and it's able to control the speed and turn it on and off. So it's pretty cool. I have one, and I've been watching the Tasmota chat about it, and they've got it set. Like if you get the newest version of Tasmota, there's now a module type in there that you can select for this iFan 02, and it's supposed to work pretty well. The wiring, some people are having different results depending on the kind of fan. Like sometimes when people are switching it, the fan is going slow and then a little less slow and a little less slow, but still not as fast as it used to go. So there's some, I still have to take apart my fan and make sure I got it working for myself before I'm going to put out a video and say, hey, this is how you do it. But it's very promising. So if you have a ceiling fan that you want to turn smart and you want to still be able to control the speed, we've got a solution that is going to be Tasmotizable. So hopefully I'll get to that before too long. What else we got? Hey, France. So who's going to win the World Cup, guys? France, England? What do you think? Belgium?
Well, I think England got cut out. But
They're still in something. Let's see. Oh, we got a 868 megahertz remote control. Emit a signal hard to reproduce. ESP Easy could be a good start for making that. Trying to see what you're saying there, Schmertz. Let's see. Remotes are just push buttons sometimes. Oh, you must be part of a different chat, or must be. You guys are having a conversation that I missed the beginning of. Sorry. Do I have a link? I don't even know. A link to the fan. Is that what you're asking, Bobby? I can find a link to the fan module. It's right on the IT website. It's been out for a while now, but it took a month for me to get one. So there it is, right there, front page. Oh, there's the 26 that you're talking about. Share control, multiple timings, Android, iOS app. I need to just send them an email and say, hey, can you send me like a bunch of everything? Okay, so this is the fan module right here. And it's actually, I mean, it's pretty cheap, $12. That's great. So I can copy this and paste it into the chat. I will definitely, Conrad, I definitely will be flashing this fan. The flashing part doesn't look too hard based on what I've been watching on the Tasmoda chat and such. It looks like it should be pretty straightforward to flash. I just want to make sure that I've got all my ducks in a row as far as making it work in a fan. And I don't know, somebody mentioned differences in fans between the US and other places. So hopefully that's not a thing, but it could be. Is there a way to use Sonoff Dual to control 2 lights and have 2 touch buttons? 4 switch boxes that have 2 or 3 lights that you want to control. If you use the Dual has pins already ready for the buttons, for buttons. And I haven't done it with the touch modules, but I don't see why you couldn't. You just have to bring 3 volts from someplace else on the board, and then there's a there's a ground and a switch leg, I guess you'd call it, or a GPIO pin for each relay, and they're ready to go on the board. Let me see if I can grab my Dual. Do you have the Dual already? Are you looking at it, or I can show you something? All right. So here's the Dual. Here's the Dual, and I'm not happy with the focus on my camera tonight. Let me monkey with it. But in the meantime, you can see these pins right here. These pins they've already got, switch 1 and switch 2 ready to go on those pins there. Let me monkey with that. With the focus. We gotta be focused, laser focused. Configure video, and then we're gonna turn off the autofocus. I don't know why this thing resets itself all the time. Like every time I turn it off, turn it back on, I gotta monkey with things again. All right, that's better. Now you can see it. So yeah, these pins right here are ready to go for switches. It's called button 0 and button 1. So you should be able to use those for 2 different switches. And then anywhere that there's 3 volts, or, like VCC up here, or there's probably another place on the board somewhere. But anyways, you can just pull from right here. You can just get a couple of wires, run from this VCC if you're going to use touch modules or powered switches. Oh, and Travis has a great point. Be careful using that button 0 because that is GPIO 0. So if you hold it down and then reboot, you're going to go into programming mode. So it's a good point. So unlike the others, like basics, this is not like a free GPIO pin. This is actually GPIO 0. And so you can have you can mess with it. You can mess up. Well, I guess it would put you into programming mode, and then if you just didn't reprogram it, turned it off and back on, it should still be there. In 7. Did 7.3.1 now come out? I saw there was a 0.73. So Jeff, there must have been something in 0.73 that was a problem, since they already have 0.73.1. But I'm kind of excited about that 0.73 because it's supposed to have a lot more Lovelace functions in it. And if you guys watched the live stream last week, I think we talked a little bit about the Lovelace and the new interface with Home Assistant. It's fantastic. It's really the way to go. And when I saw just a little peek of the 0.73 Lovelace functions, it looks like there's something like floor plan, which would be really cool if we're able to, make a floor plan and like we did Home Assistant floor plan, but something that would be more built in with Home Assistant. It would probably be more consistent in how it functions. HA floor plan is great, but there was some oddities to it sometimes. Like I had some that, even though I did everything the same, some rooms, the switches weren't turning on and off appropriately. They weren't clickable sometimes, but other times they were. So there was a little bit of funniness going on there. So maybe in Lovelace they'll have that all fixed. All right, let's see. Renee says he wants to use the Sonoff Dual to control a roller shutter to keep the original switch in there connected to GPIO and relays to control the current to the motors. You careful if you use the relays on the Dual for the motors. It depends on your motors. It might be fine, but sometimes it's not. Starting a motor with a relay is a little different than turning on a light. So just without knowing your situation, just make sure that it would be okay to do that. Please do a future step-by-step to make a battery-powered DIY multi-sensor with the ESP01. Battery-powered multi-sensor. Let me tell you, Donnie, I can. I was supposed to get those free batteries. To work on that. Had a guy that had some extra rechargeable lithium weird batteries. Looked like they were for I don't know what, tablets or phones or something. Anyways, the trouble with the battery power and the Wi-Fi stuff is that Wi-Fi takes a lot more juice to run. So if you've got something like a sensor, like a multi-sensor, if you want to have it running all the time for something like motion, the battery's not gonna last very long, because if that thing's on all the time, it's gonna chew up batteries pretty fast. That's the reason to do the 433 megahertz RF sensors, because they do a lot better with battery than the Wi-Fi stuff, the ESP stuff. But if I can find something, if I can see if I can figure something out, maybe. Bobby says, "Who is Lovelace?" I don't know, but I do feel a little dirty every time I say that. I don't know where that name came from, why they call it Lovelace, but hopefully they'll fix that. Rename it. I like renaming things. That's something we're gonna need to rename for sure. Donnie says with a AAA nickel metal halide. I don't know. You'd have to look at the sensors that you want to use and add up, what kind of current they're going to draw. I know the ESP chip by itself, if you keep it on all the time, if you look at I did a battery button out of a Sonoff SV before I even understood much about sleep and the things you could do to try and save power. And it took a 9-volt battery, and it lasted like 6 hours or something. It really didn't last very long. But you can check that out. And I can't remember off the top of my head how much current you need to run one of those ESP chips. But it goes fast. It'll suck the battery dry pretty quickly. The people that use the ESP chips, the Wi-Fi chips, in a battery situation and have success in making it last a long time, they've got it set up so that the board is normally off, like doing nothing. and then something happens, like you push a button or the door opens or something, and then the board turns on, sends a message that says, hey, this just happened. The button got pushed or the door opened, and then it goes back off again. If you watch Rob on the hookup, he's got a really nice battery door sensor off of an ESP chip like that, a Wi-Fi chip, and he's gotten a lot of battery life out of his, but that's the way he gets it to function. So anytime you're going to have it on all the time, I don't know. Let's see. Mark says deep sleep and a sensor will work well. There you go. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. Yep. Donnie says he did a window sensor. So I don't know if there's a better way to do it. Maybe with the the deep sleep. But I don't know how that works with like a motion sensor or temperature or something. So you have to depend what kind of sensors you have. What you want to use. CR123As are pretty good. Most okay, cool. Bob says the Z-Wave sensors use the CR123A. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one. So Mauricio says he uses a dual for his blinds and shutters. So it's probably fine as far as the motor and the relay goes. Have you ever used Circuit Lab? Looking at it now, I haven't used Circuit Lab. What's Circuit Lab? Tell me about it. Have I flashed a KS602 board? It's for a light switch. Can't find the GPIO. Is it on the place I would look? Is it on the list for Tasmota? If it's on the list for Tasmota, they probably have found the probably found all the pins and let's see. We want to go to the wiki, and then I don't see that particular board here, but it has a here's some fun. Here, look, here's the fan. This is what we know so far. Oh, this is just taking us there. Yeah, but it's on the compatibility list, so I'm sure. Smart socket, other devices. Oh. No, I don't see it there. So you just have to do, sorry, I'm sure you probably already tried this, but just a general Google search for that board and where to find it. If you don't find it that way, then you can usually locate the GPIO 0 if you get a diagram of the ESP chip. Back to opening this up again, and I'm guessing it's an 8266. I don't know that there's 8266. I don't want .com, and then I just want the pin out here. It's not as easy this way. There's probably someplace else on the board where you could find it, but you can find it directly on the chip itself. What am I looking for here? So if you can find, let's see, we're going to find it here. There's GPIO 0 right there. So, if you can, I don't know what your chip looks like. It should look something like this. Somewhere on your board should be something like this, probably. This is like the ESP1 or something, I think, or 12, I guess, and this one is. But they're pretty much the same. Then you can find which one of these little tabs corresponds to GPIO 0, and you can do that for flashing. There's another way too. Oh, hey, this is what I was looking for. So this is not the right chip, though. This is the Atmega, but there's a diagram like this for the ESP chip somewhere in the universe. These are all for the Mega something. Oh, that's a nice. Oh, this is the 32. So, anyways, it's on there. If you search around here, you should be able to find. Oh, wait, no, that was it. That was it. There it is. Sweet. This should give you what you need. So you can always. This is a horrible picture though. There, that one's better. Okay, so on the chip itself, there will be a dot, and that dot is how you orient yourself based on this diagram. And then from that dot, you can just kind of count around the pins here and figure out where your GPIO 0 is. And it's going to be down here. There it is right there. Number 15. So it's kind of the opposite corner and then one to the left. That's where your GPIO 0 is. So that's the one you want to put to ground. So that's, you know, that goes for any of these Wi-Fi kinds of devices that you can find. It doesn't have to be Sonoff. It doesn't have to be you know, anything that anybody's already figured out. If you find this chip on there, you can do that. And if it's an 8266, then the RAM is, or the RAM, I don't know if you call that, the memory is separate. If it's an 8285, then you know it has 1 megabyte of memory. But I doubt any of them are going to have less than that. So I don't know. See, Rob's the master of deep sleep. See, Rob can tell you all about battery and how long you can make a battery last in a sensor kind of situation. So he's got a great little battery button. I saw James ask about the smoke detector. I still haven't put it up. I've got the spot right there. I just need to do it. And when I do, I will let you know for sure. I'm excited to try it out. I was trying to get it open. I couldn't get it open. It's like my first thing you do, right? You get something out and first thing you want to do is open it and see what's going on. Okay. The NodeMCU V3, 4 megabytes. Okay, great. The Roomba hack. Yep. Rob did a great Roomba hack. Okay, let's see. Sorry for asking again. Would you use 2 basics or 1 dual? I have many switch boxes with 2 or more. You know, I initially wanted to use the dual for places where I had 2 switches, but I've gone to just using 2 basics. So that's probably the easier thing to do. And it doesn't really take up, it maybe takes up a little bit less room, the dual, but not a ton. And there's nice ways to make the basic fit in the same place that an old light switch fit. You can get little 3D printed boxes, or you can use the case that it comes in. So for what it's worth, for me, I would, you know, Steve, I would stick with 2 basics. That's what I've done more often than not. Put a new battery in it, then mark the date and see how long it lasts. I'm running mine for about 4 months now. Oh, for the smoke detector? Or are you guys talking about something else? I'm sorry. I keep missing what you guys are talking about. Could you flash 2 gang US with your method? You know what I ended up doing? I have not, Lucifer. I have not, because what I ended up getting it working. I got the over-the-air flashing to work. For those of you that popped in on my accidental live stream on Monday night, I was in the process of trying to flash the Sonoff T1 US version. I still have it sitting here close by. And I was trying to do it over the air because, you know, apparently over the air is back. Over the air flashing has probably been back for a while. And I'd heard whispers and people saying that it was happening and that you could do it again. But it's definitely a thing, and it works. And but I was trying to do it, and I accidentally hit the start stream button instead of start record button. So they're right next to each other. But then I went back a couple days later. I couldn't get it done that night, but I went back a couple days later, and the things that I had to do were, one, my version of the eWeLink app on my phone was really old, and I needed to update it. It was quite different now than it was then, and that was part of why I couldn't even use the eWeLink app to connect to the switch, or to the T1. But once I did that, then I could get on there and I could verify what firmware it had, and it had version 2 of the Sonoff firmware, so that was great. That is compatible. So that's the thing. That's something you can do if you have a Sonoff that has an old, or has the 1.6 version, or something that's not compatible. I think they went right from 1.6 to 2. I don't know of anything in between. But anyways, if you have 1.6 and you can't do over-the-air flashing, just connect it to the eWeLink app and then update it. Update it to version 2, and then once you're on version 2, then you can do over-the-air flashing. And then I didn't have my firewall. There's like 3 different firewalls, I guess, on Windows 10, and I didn't turn them all off, maybe. So I did that, and then I did Sonata.exe, and away it went. I'm hoping, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that with this Sonata.exe, there you go. I approve Rob's video. If with Sonata.exe, hopefully you don't have to mess with Python. You don't have to, install Python. I had to do a bunch of junk. If you watch that video from when I did the over-the-air flashing, trying to get it to work with, with Windows, I had to do, install Python and had to be in the right folder, and it wasn't a lot of fun trying to figure it out. But I think now all you have to do is just click on Sonata.exe, and there you go, and you're there. So. All right, firewall issue. Yeah, it was, Bobby. It was. Remember, was it you that said it? Somebody said it in the chat during the live stream. They said, "Hey, what about your firewall? Check your firewall." And I missed it at the time, but I thought I had it off. Apparently, I didn't. Whether I had it off or not, I don't know. Could have just been the other thing with the eWeLink app, but whatever. It worked now. It worked. So that video is done, and I'll publish it tonight, so it'll be out in the morning. So. Hey Bashir, what's up? One file, yeah, Bobby, it's nice. You just click that sucker and does all the rest for you. I'd like to learn MQTT in depth, starting from zero. Suggestions for resources or tutorials, Donnie says. MQTT is not really. There's a guy who has a lot of in-depth tutorials. Let me see if I can find him. I can't remember what his name was, but I watched a lot of his, and he's really smart with it and knows a lot of stuff. But a lot of it was over my head. And at first I didn't know anything about MQTT. And now I understand it pretty well, and it's pretty simple. But if you really want to get into it, where is that guy? I can't remember his name now. Okay, we'll just search MQTT and see what we find. Look at all these smart guys on here. So many smart guys. This isn't. Oh no, you know what? I was thinking Node-RED. Yeah, the guy that I was thinking of, he does Node-RED videos, and he's really smart about Node-RED videos, though. That's not going to help you. This was the guy I was thinking of. So we're not going to watch his video, but this is the guy. So if you want to have a lot of videos about Node-RED, this guy's got a ton of them. Opto video. So, or you could just ask Rob. Rob knows a lot about Node-RED, way more than me. I'm still waiting to learn it better. So as far as MQTT tutorials, I don't know. Of one in particular, I think I've kind of stumbled through it. Rob just talked about it, didn't you, Rob? You just talked about MQTT in like the QoS and some other things from your video from last week. So that might be another one. Rob's got all the good videos. Why are you guys watching me? Rob's got all the good videos. Let's see. What else we got? Can B1s be linked together to perform as a single bulb for color sync purposes? Justin, I'm sure you can do it in an automation. So you could do it in like a home assistant automation or Node-RED. And you'd have to do, so what I've done, like I've done that with my my RGB LED like Christmas lights. And I'm sure you could do the same thing. What you do is you set up, let me open mine up. What you do is you essentially set up a sort of a dummy list, a control. Like I set up an input select that then every time I pick something off that input select, it then sends a message to every one of those strips, every D1 mini that I have that's controlling a strip of Christmas lights. So you can do the same kind of thing. You'd have you set up one Well, the other thing you could do, you could probably even have them all subscribe to the same topic. That would probably be even easier. But yes, yes, that's the short answer. Yes, you can do it. It just, how do you do it? You can do it either through an automation, which might be the more complicated way, or you can do it through. You might be able to do it, but just by having them all subscribe to the same topic. So what I've got here is, let's look through mine. Okay, so I have this all LEDs here. So when I select something here, it will turn on. Now it doesn't change them here, but they're going off, you know, in my office and outside right now. You can see these ones all turned on down here. So the side lights aren't plugged in and the magic box is not plugged in, but that turns them all on. So we can look at how I set that up as an automation, if you'd like. That'll help you. Let's see, is this the right configuration? Gonna go to this is the main automations. All right, I don't think there's anything secret in here. Trying to be more careful about that. I've had to change passwords and stuff too many times because I get on a live stream and start sharing stuff, and the next thing I know, I'm sharing too much. Oh, I probably already did. All right, let's see if we can find the okay. Oh no, that's that automation. Okay, this is what I've done. So what I got here is one. Close that. All right, so this automation says anytime I select something from this input select all LED. So you could do something similar with a color, make an input select of all the different colors. Or you could set this to just be one of the bulbs, probably. Anytime you select something from, or a set color for one of the bulbs, then the action is it publishes as an MQTT message to every one of those strips. Right, so these are different strips. This is the main holiday strip. This is the side of the house. This is the test one, which is here hanging in my office. And this one's on a tree in the backyard. So what you do is just set up the action so that once you do whatever the trigger is, you know, set your bulb to a certain color or turn it on or whatever, that it then sends that same, it sends an action message to each of those bulbs. So maybe that's something that I should do and explain in a better way in a more of a video, because that's probably a good thing to do. Might be a good way to to solve some of the dimming problems if you're using multiples of those. But then again, back to saying you probably could have all the bulbs subscribe to the same topic, and that might work. So all right, let's see. McLighting does a mesh network. That's right. James says, and that's a pretty cool one. I think you sent me that, and I looked at it. It was really cool. He's got a mesh network set up so that all these different boards communicate to each other. So that's a good way to do it too. All my secrets are out. Yeah, I don't have any secrets anymore. That's funny. I'm surprised I haven't been hacked yet, I guess. Somebody's blaming the wife. What's up with the Burns Home System in the car thing? That's what he does, man. I think he must do them on. I think he must do them like on his lunch break. So he's a smart guy. I like watching his stuff. What's his name? Adrian. Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's got a different kind of setup. He runs Home Assistant, but he does it with, like, he's got an Ubuntu Linux computer that he runs everything off of. So when he shows you how to set stuff up, he doesn't do like hasIO. He'll do, this is how you do it on Ubuntu 18 or something like that. So, hey, Chris. Hey, how's it going? How's things? You got everything working? I've spent some time helping Chris with some things, garage doors and stuff. I have been hacked. I just don't know it yet. It's probably dang true. Oh, goodness. Google Home set up Google Assistant in the configuration.yaml. I'll miss something that somebody was talking about. There's a group topic that you could hit all the Sonoffs at the same time. So yeah, that's right. Well, oh yeah, so you could do that if you flash the B1s with Tasmota, then you could you set up a group topic. There you go, Rob. Thank you. And then you can just set your control in Home Assistant so that it publishes to that group topic, and then all those light bulbs will get that message and do the same thing. So there's still some research for you to have to do. You know, that's obviously not a full explanation, but back to the B1 thing, that's definitely possible. Ubuntu and Docker, that's what Bobby has. Yeah, that's for smart guys. I do the simple things. Do you know, or anyone know, a way to restart the ESPs at a given time? I think you can do that. I think you can schedule a restart. Let me think about how you do that. What the command is. I'm pretty sure there's a command in Tasmota for that. I know you can go to SoneWeb and restart them if you're using, I guess, or Tasmo admin now it's been called. Speaking of that, are you guys having troubles with connecting? I'm getting a lot of people sending me messages lately that say they flashed everything fine, but then they couldn't see the Wi-Fi. It wouldn't connect to their Wi-Fi, or it wouldn't put up the Sonoff AP mode or access point mode where you connect to the Sonoff and put in your stuff. Are you guys having that trouble? Because I don't know. I get very little information sometimes when I'm trying to help somebody, and they're just sending me a little message. But boy, I feel like I've had a lot of those in the last couple weeks, and I've had people say that they tried the Tasmo admin update to update their firmware, and it wasn't working. Or after things were working, and then they did the update to like Tasmota 6.0, and then now it won't connect. So I don't know if you guys are having any, maybe you guys are having the same troubles, or maybe there's some of you that are in here that have had that trouble, and we've now got a big pool of brains. It's not just my little brain. It's a big pool of all these brains in the chat to help out. So that's the best part about this is all I can see is that the chat keeps flying by, and best I can tell, you guys are all helping each other. So that's fantastic. Thanks for doing that. All right, I was going to go over to Tasmota and look for how you restart like on a schedule. I don't know off the top of my head how you do that. I know that obviously there's a command for it, but how you do it on a schedule, I don't know. Tasmota 6.0 gave you trouble, Michael says. Yeah. And Tasmo admin's too slow. Seems hit or miss. Yeah. I'm using Google Home with Home Assistant. What do you mean, NC Bidman? Do I have a video on Google Home? Not really. Google Home was, the way I have it working is through the Home Assistant cloud. And the setup on that is super easy. They say they're going to charge for Home Assistant cloud at some point, but they've been saying that for like 6 months now, and they still haven't. So setting it up is the same as Alexa through Home Assistant Cloud. You sign up for Home Assistant Cloud, and then you go to the Google App Store, whatever, for Google Home, and then you download the hasIO, whatever they call it. Alexa calls it a skill, whatever they call it for Google Home, and then you link the two, and then it's just working. It's pretty awesome. Oh, you know what I just did? I don't know if some of you guys have been asked about this, but I just did HomeKit. That was easy. I did that while I was watching soccer yesterday morning. Set up HomeKit and got that going. So that'll probably be that'll be a video hopefully later this week. If I can get some time to film a little bit, I should be able to get it later this week. There is another way to do the Google Home or Home Assistant, Google Assistant, maybe is what we should call it, that you can essentially turn your Pi that you're running Home Assistant on into a Google Home. I haven't done that. It's a longer process. It involves, going to the developer, registering as a Google developer, or at least you don't really have to have any credentials or anything. And then you make an app and link it to your Home Assistant. And I haven't done it. I've read the instructions a couple times. So that way it is another possibility. And then you don't have to do the Google or the Home Assistant cloud if you were trying to avoid the charge or something like that. So, it looks like so I'm hearing a lot of troubles with Tasmota 6.0. Well, I'm sorry you guys are having that trouble, but I'm sure glad I haven't switched yet, I guess. So I'll stick with 5.14 for now until I hear that all these things have passed. Not always good to be the first adopter in the tech world, that's for sure. It's good to hang out a little bit and let stuff settle itself out. Bobby, if you leave Tasmo admin open, do you have things randomly turning on and off? I've got my light here in the office that I've never had trouble with, and all of a sudden it started turning on and off just in the last few days. Oh, I haven't got into troubleshooting why that is happening yet. So whatever. Could probably set up an automation in Home Assistant. That's what you could do. Thank you. And then you can just send the you can set up an automation, and then you just send the command. So what would the command be? Let's go to that. Excuse my distractedness. This is just how it goes with the live stream. I try and follow the chat. I start talking, and then I forget what I was doing 3 seconds ago. I hope you guys are okay with that. We're going to go to the commands page, supported commands, and then we're going to find the command for restarting. I'm going to just search for it. Where's A? Switch to selection module and restart. No. Oh, it's only 54 places here. Reset, restart. Restart the Sonoff. Okay, so what you could probably do, I wonder how you would have to do the command, or you'd have to send it to a specific topic. You probably do. What you do is you just do cmnd / it's restart. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, right? Sometimes they do funny things. Sometimes it's like set option 56. So I had to make sure before I say it wrong. So what you do is you set up in Home Assistant an automation that the action would be to publish. So you do it on a time. So there's a few different ways you can set the time based on how you want to do it, and then you can set the action to be publish MQTT message, and then the message would be CMND, or the topic would be CMND / and then the name of your Sonoff, and then / I guess it would be power at that point. Dang. Well, anyways, it would end with the payload would be restart. It's not really helping you, is it? I'd have to tinker with it and see. We could try it. We go here and we go. I'm trying to think of a Sonoff that I know off the top of my head where the address is. I think 45. Oh, that's Volumio. Anybody here use Volumio? That's another one for a video some other day. That's fun. That's good stuff. There we go. Okay, front porch. All right, this one's the front porch. Yes, Martin, yes, 8285 is the same thing as 8266. It's just the 8285 has the memory built in, and the 8266, the memory is separate. But the 8285 has 1 megabyte of memory built in, and so it functions just like an 8266 as far as Tasmota is concerned. There's no difference. How many home automation geeks does it take to screw in a light bulb? I tell you what, man, do we just... Oh, command restart /1. Thanks, guys. Okay, thanks. All right. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. What's this? Get some help getting your DHC to show up on Home Assistant. I'll show whatever. I don't know what... show up in Home Assistant. Was that Bashir? Did I replied to something today? Somebody's so tell us what trouble you're having. Beatsme.yaml. Oh no, Tony. Yeah, switch to your phone. We'll still be here. We'll be here for a bit still. Oh, it's already 6. Wow, that was fast. Payload is 1. Teamwork, right? So this is great. This is what makes these live streams so awesome. It's so fun. That's just a good time. Like, how many geeks does it take to screw in a light bulb? Well, I don't know. How many can we get together? Let's see how hard we can make it to try and screw in a light bulb. But at the end, 3 guys knew how to do it, and I don't know how many people are watching, but 50 guys just learned how to do it. So it's perfect. That's the way it ought to be. Flashed 3 POW ones over the air. Followed your sensors for power reading configuration based on your video, but you don't get the readings showing in Home Assistant. The Tasmota page shows the readings. Let's see if we can figure something out there, because I'm having something similar. Yeah, I have started using secrets. I just followed Ben's old videos, fairly similar. But yeah, I could do that. All right, let's put up a new window and let's go to, so if we go to my Home Assistant here, you'll see my POW. Oh, I took it off of the main page. I hit it. But if you go to my sensors and we look down here at the POW, which I called the TAS5, right? Sensor.TAS5. Don't anybody get motion sick while I scroll through this at 100 miles an hour? Sensor dot. This is my card charger. Blink. Phones. Okay, so here we go. POW current, POW power, and power voltage. So for some reason, these are showing up as unknown now. And that didn't used to happen. I mean, you saw the video. I had it working. But it's been like this for a bit. And I don't know exactly why. So let me see if we can find that. See if I can, I don't remember what the IP address off the top of my head is. So we'll go to SoneWeb and see if it'll tell us. Go to the list of devices. I know it's working because my computer is plugged into it. Hey Ryan, how's it going? Filter is your friend. Use filter. What did I miss? Yeah, you're getting unknown. Oh, this is weird. So I have to find that Sonoff on my network and see what videos we're using. Tasmota pulse time. The pulse time one. Which one did we talk about pulse time on? I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll think about it in a minute. Sorry, maybe somebody else can remember and tell him. When did we talk about what video was it we talked about pulse time? No scrolling. Oh, when you say filter, you mean like Control F so that I can just find the thing I'm looking for? Yeah, gosh, you guys are so smart. You always do it the easy way. All right, 36. Okay, it changed. Oh, did you guys? You probably had that problem too. So if you've done SoneWeb and it's discovered all of your Sonoffs, and then you switch or you restart your router and it switches IP addresses, now you've got like doubles and stuff. So that's unfortunate. Okay, so this is what mine looks like right now. And it's giving me the readings. So I wonder if what's happening, you see all these different status messages, and it looks like they're coming every minute. So it should be on. Yeah, it should be working. Because it should be this. Maybe it's stat. Maybe we need to see what the sensor. Maybe see what the sensor is. Sensor topic. The state topic is in the sensor. So let's go to the configuration.yaml. That's probably what it is. I probably told you it's something wrong. Big surprise. All right, let's do filter the fast way. Do sensor. No, it looks like it should be working based on this. So that must not be it. Okay, so there you see my sensor that I have set up, and it's got, if we compare the two, I can find a way to put both of these on the screen. If we compare the two, this is huge. Why is it so big? Because my eyes are so bad. Okay, so the topic here looks like it's good. Stat TAS5 status 10. So if we go here and we can see stat TAS5 status 10. Okay, so we know the topic is right. So then we need to look at the other part of it in the template, and it should be JSON status SNS. So there's status SNS, and then we need a dot for like every subsection, right? So it should be SNS, and then a dot for energy, and then a dot for power or voltage or current. Man, that's what we've got. Energy and then power. And that should work. Travis says make the state topic telly. Okay, let's do that. Tell us what that does, Travis. I've seen that before, but what... Okay. And then I'm smelling dinner. Hey, Jackson. Not yet. not yet? Okay. So Renee has okay. I just read Steve's comment here about, I'm sure that there's a conversation going on about wives and blinds. And Stephen Reed says she already has a blind automation. It's called, hey, you get up and close the blinds. Yep. Wives don't need the automations. That's why we do all this, so that we don't have to get up and do the blinds when they tell us to. Okay, so I saved that, and I'll run a config check and make sure it's not gonna blow up in my face, and then we can restart it and see if that does the trick. And yours is working like that, Renee? Yeah, Renee's and Travis has the same. So I wonder why that worked and then it didn't work. Isn't that funny? Does Rob have a video page? Hookup Rob? Heck yeah, he does. Hookup Rob has a video page. It's called the Hookup, and he's got good stuff. He's a smart dude. He's Rob, a biology teacher, high school teacher. Smart guy, super smart guy. Knows way more about this stuff than I do. Oh, did I not update my value template? Oh, with the brackets. So that's different. Huh. Okay. Did that change? That couldn't have changed, right? That's not like a new... That's standard formatting. Bobby, you can always switch back, Bobby. Setting up a Pi with Hash.io is no big deal. And then you can just drop your configuration files in and it'll all still be the same. All your YAML files will just plop over if you wanted to switch to Hash.io. All right, let's see. What else did Travis say? Status 10 was probably being pulled by Tasmo. So that worked once, and then restart drops the message. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, is that why? I wondered why. Cause so I'm reading Travis's. Travis is another genius. Thank you, Travis. So when you have Tasmo admin open, it's pulling a lot of information from the Sonoffs and asking them for a bunch of stuff. And so I must have had that open when I was doing it, and so those messages were popping up, and they were being so my power stuff was being updated. But then if I closed it, it wasn't sending those messages, or wasn't receiving, it wasn't triggering. So we should use Telly instead. And then I didn't change I'd have to go back in and do that because I didn't change the value template. Too many buttons, too many places. Go back to this. I have cleaned up my configuration.yaml, so other than my longitude, oh, look at that. I even made my longitude and latitude secrets. So you guys can't just go show up at my door. Although if you came and showed up at my door, that would be really cool. And I've had that happen a couple times already. It's pretty fun. Let's see. Morning, Shane. Did you miss much? We pretty much solved everything, I think, right, guys? I think, yeah. There's nothing left. We figured it all out. No, we've talked about a whole variety of things. Club Velvet? Open Club Velvet, Donnie says. I don't know about Club Velvet. This is PG channel. Okay. We want to go down here to the sensor again. And I didn't have my stuff formatted right. Let's see where'd those examples go. So what did I need to do? Oh, so you have your value templates very different. So you just do JSON bracket and then energy.power. Well, that's easier. So I don't have to do this beginning part, huh? Okay. That might be because the Telly message shows up differently. Is that right? The payload for Telly is different than for stat. Would be my guess. Let's put that around energy. And then energy is in a quote. And then power, does that look right? I think that looks right. So we get, oh, there's some, oh, I wish I could remember how to do that. Is it control? No. Is it alt? Yeah, check this out. So if you use Sublime Text, oh no, this is Visual Code. Oh, but it still works. You can put a cursor in more than one place, and then you can make changes in multiple places one time. So look at that. I'm going to erase all that. And then I'll put the bracket and the bracket. Cool, right? That's fun. Okay. Does it look good now? Renee, Travis, I got it? I think I got it. So Justin, yes. So the group topic is one that it will also respond to. So you can have an individual topic. You should still have an individual topic for every Sonoff, but you can have a group topic, and then have multiple devices that will respond to that single group topic. But they will all still maintain their individual topics. Change the state topic. Did I not? Teletest 5, status 10. Was it not status 10 anymore? Oh. Okay, sorry. It's Telly, and then this is just, we'll do that again. Can I do Alt? And it's just sensor, huh? Oh, man. Okay. How about now? Got it? Think I got it. Ryan's still having a tough. Maybe we can talk about pulse time for a second too. Oh, you just want V and A and stuff? Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I want to get this working. Okay. Oh man. All right. Looks like we're good there. Check that again. I think it looked about right, Travis. Thanks for your help. Tim's got a posting of the same kind of thing. So you guys had it all figured out. How did I? Well, we already discussed how I messed it up. Do I have a Patreon page? I do have a Patreon page. Thank you, Justin, for asking. It is it's on there should be a link. If you look at the channel, I could probably post a link, but if you look at the channel, the main page on the channel, let's restart it now that we've got this done. Restart that. You look at the main page of the channel, right? There's a little link right there. My little snazzy home assistant shirt. I swear I've gained 50 pounds since I started doing these videos. So I stay up late and eat M&Ms, make videos instead of going to bed, getting up early and exercising. Yeah, well. So it's just, Patreon, DrZzs, DrZzs. Almost 12,500. Halfway to 25,000. It's amazing. Amazing. All right. I can tell it's getting dark. My face is getting dark on the screen. Turn a light on. It's probably better, huh? All right. Let's see. What else we got we can do? Oh, somebody wanted to do pulse time, right? So tell us what problem you're having. I forgot who already asked about pulse time. I think pulse time, explaining pulse time real quick is something we can do. So is the POW safe to connect to major appliances, fridge, washer, dryer, etc.? There is a max on it. I think the max was like 16 amps. So a dryer, maybe not. Hi Zoe. A dryer, maybe not. Washer, depends. Fridge is probably okay. What is my favorite automation? I think my favorite automation, I've got one right now that I like because it's summertime. The kids haven't even really paid attention to it, mostly maybe because they're inside at this point because it's been hot out. But I set up a little one that every time the lights go or every time sunset happens, my outside holiday lights come on and play a little pattern. And so that one's been fun lately. But I do think, actually, let me back up. My favorite automation is my football automations. So if you check out the video about my, I think it says like ESPN turns on my Christmas lights or something. It's an older one. Let's watch them all. It is this one. ESPN turns on my LEDs. This one was a lot of fun. So it's actionable notifications through the iPhone, and when you get it was using if this then that and ESPN. And so I went to Michigan, so I'm a Wolverines fan, and so when they play football, I always know, but I get a notification. Well, first the lights come on, and then at the end of the game, my phone says, "Did they win?" And then I push a button, and if I push the button and say yes, they won, then it changes the pattern of the lights into something else, like a celebratory one. And if I say no, then they just turn the lights off, and we just pretend like it never happened. So I think this one right here is my favorite automation. Any known divorces out there over home automation? Not yet. Not yet. Hopefully none soon. That's why you gotta mix in that WAF factor. You got to find out what kind of things is she struggling with that maybe you could do something to automate so that she gets happy for a while, and then you can do 10 other projects for yourself, and then you go back and you know, I think, like I said, in one of my other ones about Alexa, for my wife to be able to lay in bed and tell Alexa to turn the lights off has been great for her. The garage door was good for a while, but then, you know, what happened was her little MQTT presence detection D1 Mini that was in the car got broken. The cable got broken. It got disconnected. One of the kids stepped on it. And then so what happened was it wasn't working. And so she goes, well, okay. So she pushes the button on the car to open the garage door, you know, through the old fashioned way. And unfortunately, as soon as the garage door got up, because of the way the automation was written, as soon as the garage door got up, it started to come back down again. Well, the garage door starts going up, she starts backing out, and the garage door comes back down, and crunch, and it broke the big piece off the back of the car. I had the brake light on it and stuff like that. So she didn't tell me how much that cost to fix. Maybe she hasn't fixed it yet. I'm sure it's expensive. So, anyways, I can't. Is it raining? Oh, good. I think I hear the kids yelling that it's raining. That's great. It's been really hot here. Brownie point ones. She's asking you to do something, giving you ideas. That's right. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Travis. So anything she asks you to do, think about how the heck can I automate this? So that'll be fun. She likes the cameras. She likes being able to see the cameras too and watch the kids doing stuff. So that's good. She likes music. She likes to play music. So I'll show you guys. I'll do this Volumio setup here pretty soon. If you guys haven't ever heard of it before, Volumio is really cool. It's runs on a Pi, runs on a Raspberry Pi, and you can get a bunch of radio stations and stuff through. This is just web radio, and it's just connected to all these web radio stations. But then you can also, if you have Spotify, you can connect it to Spotify. You can't get your own playlists, but you can make playlists here with Spotify Music, so that's cool. And then you can put your own music on your internal stuff. Like this is a song from our honeymoon that I hadn't played in forever, and I found it on an old drive, and so I set it up with Volumio. So now she can click that and she can hear our little honeymoon song. So see, I set up Volumio because I want to listen to music, but then I had to throw in a little something, for the WAF points. So Volumio's fun. Somebody said, what cameras do I have? I have a lot of Blink cameras, and the Blink cameras are nice because they're battery powered, and they take a minute to come up. They're battery powered, but they don't take pictures very often unless you set them to. But you can send a message. You can send an MQTT message to Snap with a payload Snap picture, and it will. Well, actually, you can just do. I think it's just Blink Snap picture as a service, and then the name of the entity, the name of the camera, and then it'll snap a new picture. So I haven't done this yet, but I want to go ahead and I want to set this up so that it does them on a regular basis. So every hour, every couple hours, or specific times a day, it'll update them. Some of these I haven't updated in forever, like these. So those are Blink cameras, and then the other one we have. This one I really like. This is the Foscam, and this one, it's actually live right now. You can see, daughter, friend, football gear on the ground, wife making dinner. So, I think I must have locked the door. Okay, it's open. So those are the cameras that I have, and then this one is just a Raspberry Pi for the Octoprint, and this is finishing off a part for me right now. This is really cool. You guys this is gonna be exciting stuff. I'll give you the basics of this. Together with my friend Matt, we have rigged up a Nerf gun, one of those rival Nerf guns where you pull the trigger and it just shoots those little balls. It holds like 100 of them, so right? Whoa, sorry. We've set up one of those with a couple of stepper motors and a little web-based up, down, right, left, and then on a Raspberry Pi Zero with a camera, so we can mount the camera on top, put the Nerf gun on this thing like a turret, and then you can watch the camera and you can go up, down, right, left. So that's pretty exciting, pretty cool. Oh, look, it just finished. Just now finished. Perfect timing. So we're getting it all put together, that Nerf gun thing, but it is going to be pretty awesome. It's going to be pretty rough. Does your family have access or use Home Assistant directly? They do, but they don't do it very much. Unfortunately, sometimes the girls will just say, Alexa, turn off the lights, and that turns off every light in the house. I will, Tim, for sure. I'm tweaking them to get them just right, but I absolutely will. You'll have those STL files for sure. It's going to be pretty cool. It uses some kind of expensive. These are the motors that I got. They're a little more expensive. They're NEMA 17, but then they've got a planetary gear system built in. But I don't think you need these. I think I might be able to do it. So I'll probably redo the model a little bit with some, sort of more standard, cheaper stepper motors at some point. But for now, these are the ones we've got, and they work great. It's really going to be fun. Somebody asked another question. So one of the cool things about Lovelace that I was reading about is it's going to make it really a lot easier to have specific. I don't know if you can have specific users necessarily, but you can have different interfaces for different places and different people, if I understand right. So right now, yes, my family does have full access, but they just don't mess with it. They just don't. They do a little bit, but not very much. So I know that there's been a lot of other people that have, they want to limit who can print or who can access stuff and who can't. I haven't had to worry about that, but yeah, I know a lot of people do. What is that? Jagnormorse? I don't know what that means. Jagnormous. Oh yeah. This thing, this is the Taz 5. It's got like a 12-inch by 12-inch print bed. This part right here is pretty big. It's pretty big. I don't remember exactly how tall it is. Probably about 60, 70 centimeters tall, maybe. What's on that tab? Oh, that little. I don't know what you mean. Tell me what you mean. So there you go. And so Rob's smart with his wife too. He knows how to earn those wife points. He redid this whole UI according to what his wife wanted. The tablet that we have running HA dashboard is in the kitchen where the wife uses it, but she doesn't use it that much. But I'll put on there whatever she wants. Oh, it is raining.
Yeah.
Sweet. We need that. That's right. Is it time for dinner? Okay. Oh, sorry, man. Tim, I'm sorry. You got your A8 printer working 4 days. Spent 20 hours troubleshooting. Dang, sorry, dude. So my printer is it's a Lulzbot, and they're pretty. I mean, they're expensive, but they're maintenance free. Next to the camera. This tab. Octoprint, top right. This thing here, the Xbox one. Is that what you're asking about? Pulled them? Did you see? We just did the Xbox video about how to get this stuff working with Home Assistant and track who's online when and for how often and stuff. It's pretty cool. You can see. Oh, look, it worked. It worked. Back to what the whole thing that Travis and who was it? Travis and I can't remember now who else was helping. It was Renee was helping us with. So it's working. So there you go. So if you change your POW stuff to look like we did, like Travis did there, and Renee, it'll work. Mine's working again. Thanks, fellas. And then what I went up here to show you was just I set up some of these. Like Zach's been on the Xbox for 15 hours in the past week. So since Monday, Jackson's been on 18 hours. I've been on about 10. And some of that time is not me. That was actually some of the kids playing on my Xbox, technically. Wife tends to like Wi-Fi buttons instead of Home Assistant dashboard. Cool. Do what she likes, man. Cameras tab, blue heading. Up here? Oh, I have an Arlo camera too. That's not it. Home lights, holiday lights, Octoprint. Okay. Sorry, man. I'm trying to figure out what it was you're asking for. Oh, so yeah, this was the old way to do tabs. I did these according to what Ben did on his old video, and I haven't changed them in forever. So that's all these are. That's all these are here. But Lovelace does these, and it does them really quickly and easily, and you don't have to redo your configuration and restart every time. Yeah, so this is what's on that. Oh, all this stuff, the Octoprint stuff. Oh, okay. I am so sorry. This is what you, so you're asking about what else is going to be in there, how to get that stuff. I'd have to, I think I have a code that I don't want to put on the live stream, but there is a way to set up Octoprint in Home Assistant with all the sensor information, and you can get notifications when your prints are done or anything like that. So check out, just go, if you go to Home Assistant and components. Oh, no, that's not going to do it. And then you should be able to just find Octoprint. And then there's some things you can do. You get an API key, and then there's ways. And then once you do that, then there's a bunch of sensors. You can set up those binary sensors for print or error, and then there's also all these other sensors for the temperature and percent done and stuff like that. My dinner's getting cold. This isn't Lovelace. No, this is the old one. But yeah, Lovelace is awesome. I'm gonna get into Lovelace some more, and we'll definitely have a video on more about that because it's cool. Will be unknown after Home Assistant restarts. That is. Oh, sensor retain is off in Tasmota. You'll see it stay unknown until next tele period. 300 seconds is default hits. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's cool. So Travis says the way we have it set, because our tele period is set to 300 seconds, it will show up as unknown until that 300 seconds passes, and then it will send another it'll get an update every 300 seconds. All right, guys, I am gonna head off. Anything else? Hey, Marco, sorry, you just got on. We're just going to bed. Not happy about Octoprint. Keep rebooting my 3D printer boards and fails the prints. Working great without Octoprint. Need to figure out the right firmware. Yeah, bummer, Tim. I don't know. Mine has just been so simple. I've had that Octoprint Pi running and the printer going for like 3 years almost now, and I've not had a problem. It's been beautiful, but I think it might be the nature of the printer. How do I put the T1 in IT Wi-Fi mode? So I think somebody just asked me this on a comment, and they actually solved it themselves. So let me show you what it says. Essentially, what you do is you hold that first button down, and then you hold it down until it beeps twice. So it'll go. You hold it down, wait a few seconds, it'll beep. Wait a few more seconds, it'll beep twice. Then you let go. Then you hold it again for like 5 more seconds, and then it will go into the rapid flash mode. If you don't do it that way, it just goes into the flash and pause, flash and pause, flash and pause. So, Tony, I have not even been able to plug in your awesome things you sent. I'm sorry. I just too many things trying to do at the same time, but I want to very badly. I've got them right here handy. I just want to have the time to set them up. Been working on these other, mostly this turret thing the last few days. But thank you for that, and I want to do something in depth about how you put them together. Several of you guys have suggested really great projects. I've listed really great projects on Facebook. Even if anybody didn't know that we have a little Facebook group, we do. Tyson set it up. He's not on tonight because he's in Wyoming or something, I think. But if I can find the Facebook link. There's been several people that have really done a good job of putting their projects in there. And it's been really helpful. There's also there's a place on the Home Assistant forums for projects that you can post, and then they're perpetual. And you get even more feedback from a lot of people. So it's really great. But I will give you our our Facebook group link. Copy and paste. Can I please tell you what the things that Tony sent me are? Tony can tell you. Tell him, Tony. It's some ESP32 setup. We got a couple door sensors, got some motion sensors. I can't remember. Oh, and some remote controls. So it's pretty cool, really cool. But Tony can tell you about them better than I can. He's written to me. I've got the emails, and he was telling me about them. It's been a while. He told me about them and put them all together. He's got nice 3D printed boxes for it all. It's pretty cool stuff. So, real quick, how do you change descriptions in the cards? In the cards, do you mean like probably in customize would be the quick answer. Okay, I'm getting paged for dinner again. What's for dinner? I don't know. I don't know what's for dinner. Let's look on the camera and see if we can figure it out. Let's see. I see that looks like bread, looks like watermelon, looks like apple juice. There's Jackson, all the kids. I don't know. Salt and it's probably noodles. The girls like noodles with butter and salt, so that's probably it. So I don't know. I'm gonna be. Oh, it could be meatloaf. I don't know. Okay, and it's the yeah. Just join the Facebook page. Awesome. I will go through and make sure. It's still set for some reason to have an approval on for some, but not for everyone. But if I see any that need approval, I will definitely approve them. Oh, look, everybody, now they know that they're on TV. They're watching down there. So hi, everybody. Okay, I'm coming down. What's for dinner? They want to know what's for dinner, guys. What's for dinner? I can't hear them. So anyways. Okay. They like watching themselves. All right. Anything else? Last things at all before we go? Thanks for showing up, guys. Thanks for watching. Rob, you rock, dude. Thanks for being here. I mean, think of all the answers, all the things you were able to answer that I couldn't. So I'm very, very much appreciate it. I'm glad that we got Rob around and Travis and a bunch of you other guys. Appreciate you guys being here, helping each other out. We can have some fun. There's my beautifuls. Love them girls. Love them girls. Okay. All right, fellas. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Adios. I don't know. They're all laughing down there. Something's happening. Okay. Good night and good morning.